BJ is an off-road king. You know, he's two-time Baja 1000 Ironman champion.
There was a certain point in my career for, some time where I was dominating, I was doing very well. I was a top level guy, I was winning championships, I was winning races. I was working with Matt Martelli from Mad Media and started to create some interesting content on YouTube about, some of my successful races in the past.
A lot of times racing doesn't really translate to actually filming and doing stunts, but for whatever reason, BJ is just so good at placing this giant vehicle. A lot of people don't understand how big trophy trucks are, and the fact that he can place it within inches every single time, take after take, is incredible.
What about his Recoil videos? How do those make him feel? Assuming you've seen all of them?
Well, the Recoil videos, they were BJ's idea.
Every time a Recoil came out, me and the boys were glued to our phones. It didn't matter if it was in the middle of a math test. As soon as that thing came out, we were watching it.
So I wanted to put a video together that had certain environmental factors like that people see all the time, and you see that a lot in Recoil 2 and 3 and 4, where, I jump down a staircase that's 25 feet tall and jump over this or that. And it's stuff that people can see every day that are not involved in the sport. It's stuff in nature, in big cities, and doing stunts over stuff like that they can relate to. Like, oh my God, if I drove my truck down this staircase, it would explode. And this thing is doing it no problem at Mach 5. So that's what I wanted to show the world.
I've been so lucky to have shot on Recoil 2, 3, 4, and 5. Being able to interact with the locals and basically take this crazy jumping truck all over the island, and on top of that, I think jump a total of 2 miles on the streets, on the beach, all over the place. BJ just had so much airtime in Cuba, it was incredible.
Most of it's easy, like turning tires into vulcanized rubber and vapor. That's a lot of fun. That's not very hard to do. Parallel parking at 60 miles an hour, like that's a little bit difficult, but that's not as hard as beating some of the best guys in the desert. I went through a period of time for several years where I had a bunch of problems, and what happened in that is, I had a bunch of mechanical failures. I had some toxicity as it relates to organization and execution of certain things that needed to get done here in the shop.
First thing I noticed when I came on BJ's team in late 2018 was there seemed to be a massive problem with a lot of people leeching off of his program. And it had a few good guys, but you could tell they were getting burned on the same thing. So basically, top to bottom, I got to pick who I wanted on the team because I knew where our weak areas were, and that's kind of the way we went.
Surprisingly, it was a good transition because there was a lot of new players in the game. So it's not like you had a lot of old people on the team that have their ways or their input and wanted to keep it that way. So we had a lot of new guys, so we were able to structure it between Kyle, me, BJ, and Paul. Like, we can kind of create our own team from there and start fresh. So we were not dealing with just kind of old players that wanted to kind of continue down that same path.
To build the team the way we did it, it was piece by piece. And then slowly but surely, you found out the weak spots, You come into a pit, and yeah, I'd have some excellent guys there, but we were having 50-second tire stops, and that's just not the normal these days. Between first and fifth place is about a difference of 30 seconds sometimes.
I don't look at what I do, my career, like most people would, right? I can leave the start line and throw a rod 100 yards from the start line and throw a rod right through the block. I have to get the fire extinguishers out and put it out, and I have to put it on the trailer. I only made it 100 feet. At the end of the day, I got to drive $1 million piece of equipment that makes 1,000 horsepower. Not many people get to do that. Some people would say, like, you gotta take a minute, you know, if you're bummed out, and look at that and be like, yo, I got to do this today, that's amazing. I don't have to do that. I see that every fucking time I get in the fucking truck. Every time. This is one I wanted to do all my life. Nobody loves it more than me, and I just want to murder all of my competitors, and I am blessed to have the opportunity to do that.